You get arrested for trying to save the Earth. First of all, I want you to look at this. Why do these two words feel different? Compare world and Earth. Why do they seem to represent two different concepts to me, when in fact they should mean the same thing? World seems to mean the people, countries, societies, governments, etc., and Earth means the ecology, the atmosphere, nature, the oceans. Why do they feel like two different words? They're not. They mean the same thing, or they should. Look at these things carefully, folks. This could be divide and conquer at work again. I'm just going to make this short. A few paragraphs. Look at this article in the Toronto Star. RCMP, Royal Canadian Mounted Police, make 27 more arrests at BC, British Columbian, old-growth logging blockades. People are blocking the loggers from cutting down the old-growth forest and are then being arrested for it. I'm at a loss for words. I talk to tree spirits and I hear when they're being cut down, they scream. Isn't that sickening? These people who put up these blockades know, and they're trying to bring more attention to the fact that Canada's old-growth forest is being cut down. Basically, it's our history. Not our Matrix history, but our true history. When we get our house, I will forbid one single tree to be cut down. There are enough trees now turning brown and dying because of our EMF'd, chemtrailed polluted air. They can't survive in it. By the way, folks, I've found a way to turn that around, send the trees energy. Once in the park I frequent there was a tree that told me, I'm dying, and as I looked at it and the trees around it, I could see lots of dead boughs that had turned orange and dead pine needles. I kept sending it loving energy, and now when I go to the park I can't tell which trees it was that I helped because they are all robust and alive again. We must keep our forests alive, and felling trees has to stop. Ivo, what can we use to build our homes instead of wood? Ivo, there are many composites, my love, that are possible without the use of wood. Composites that are stronger than wood because the wood you build your homes from is very soft, generally, because the homes are made as cheaply as possible. These composites can stand up to your extreme weather as well. Funny, that never reflects in the price, does it? And composites that stand up to a tornado or a hurricane would put the insurance industry at a severe disadvantage. I like it. Imagine a hurricane comes and you can park your car in the garage and your car is safe too. Ivo, long ago, when you began to industrialize your world, certain innovations were promoted, such as the use of electrical energy, which you have noted, is an easy means of transportation for demonic entities, and unbodied extraterrestrials such as archons. Yes, how about that, eh? Our homes are accessible to them because they can attach to the fields generated by our appliances and ride into the home through the electrical systems. Then they can end up in your kitchen, smelling like pook, which is what happened to me again yesterday. Since I dropped the contact I was speaking to on email because the conversation went south, they have come back and tried to be a nuisance in my home again. If they can't find a way into my home, they will find a way to get to me through you. Because my house and your minds are all electromagnetic things. Ivo, correct. The timing was precise as well. You wondered where they went to and then your contact began to act up. As soon as that was stopped, they found another way into your home through your neighbor's router. They are persistent. Well, that's fine. I'm even more persistent. Now, about the history of progress through industrialization. Ivo, crystalline energy was always available to you, but it was never pursued because hydroelectric energy was, they said, cheaper and more available. Then nuclear energy was struck upon. If they can find a means of creating dirty energy for your people, it will be done. The wrong means are always promoted. As for the trees, it is important for them to deforest your world, otherwise they cannot be successful with their chemtrail programs. The trees are filters, in the same way the alveoli are the filters in your lungs. They carry out the gases to be expelled from your body, and attempt to keep the bloodstream clean. The trees do the same thing for the earth, keep the atmosphere clean, and of course, this is not what the Matrix desires, it desires a poisonous atmosphere for you, so your homes are continually made of wood and nothing new is researched for the sake of the trees. How long has the public been aware of the tree problem? Many decades now. And what has been done about it? Virtually nothing. Homes are still constructed of wood. You will never make any progress with the DS in control of your world. World forums and global meetings are simply vehicles to make it appear that work is being done, but nothing really is changing. Adherence to ecological promises are simply ways to control economic profits and to switch them from one region to a more lucrative other region. Your third world countries are now being sought out as regions for new economic development. This way they will pollute your world for even more profit. This must all be stopped, and eventually you will stop it as the people become more empowered. Of course, early efforts to stop deforestation were dealt with the usual derision and the term tree hugger was created. Now you will see the same thing happen with the anti-masker. You will suffer derision and nicknames will be created for you. You will be treated as more worthless beings than those that the DS can manipulate. The same happens over and over again. The process is so clear to those who can see. The DS makes a proposal. They put up news on the TV saying that this is being done abroad and will come to your country as well. They tell you that so that you will believe them and will manifest it in your own country. This is how they spread their poison with your consent. You believe them. Then the protesters and objectors will raise their heads. The media will begin to deride the protesters and discredit them by creating false news about them. People will believe the media, yes, because everything you see on television is the truth. The media will call or insinuate that the protesters are people who stand in the way of progress, and they will push your buttons of national economic insecurity or your own personal or financial insecurity button, which of course they have programmed into you, to get you to side with them. These protesters will be seen as the bad guys, they will not be seen as patriotic. They do not have the country's best interests at heart. And perhaps this news clip will follow one about the unemployment rate increasing so that you are viewing this news clip with an already fearful mindset. They know how to do it. And people fall for this manipulation constantly. They know how to quell a protest, just even utilizing your newscasts. In the same way now, many are being manipulated out of fear of bad health to get vaxxed, because they are told it is the right thing to do and they want to do the right thing. Of course it is not the right thing to do. The right thing to do is to expel your governments and reseat them with new leaders who cannot be bought or intimidated into working for the cabal. Me, yes. Ivo, they work in the same way always. Perhaps they will create some related false flag situations in order to garner more agreement for their campaign. It is all based on deception. All of it. And your world continues to suffer and your health continues to suffer along with it. This must be arrested. Logging must stop and the forests must be allowed to regrow. For now, there are enough second-hand materials to create new homes from. The products you use to cover your homes are aluminum and plastic composites and are unhealthy for you. Yes, aluminum siding. Sharon's mother was experiencing allergies to aluminum yet did not stop to think their home was sided in aluminum. Me, yes. Didn't occur to her. Ivo, your brother used plastic siding which was cheaper but still there are off gases and emissions. Also plastic does not decompose. This will stay with your world until incineration is created that removes emissions and incinerates these compounds into harmless basic elements. It can be done. Your world has much to learn. The first thing it must learn is who to trust, the trees or the people who cut them down. Me, thank you Ivo. I know this is a big issue for you. Ivo, I am a scientist, my love. Me, yes, as for these innovations, it's time. High time for change. Not this foot-dragging litany of false promises we've had to live with.